and aspiring lockers. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a braid out on my DIY Microlocs, and I'm also going to be talking about some things going on with my scalp and just scalp care in general. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a audio test just so I can make sure that my mic is working, because my sound and my audio did me dirty, real dirty last time I was on here. So sounds like we're good. We're going to get going. All right. So one of the things that I just wanted to mention, like I said, with scalp, I the journey for my scalp has been going on for a long time, since I was about 18 years old. If you can look and see, you see I got dry scalp, and some people would say, well, D, why don't you just wash your hair? If life was only that simple. Today's not a wash day, okay? It's only been a couple days since I washed my hair. The way my scalp is set up, in order for me to have a flake-free scalp due to washing, I would have to wash literally every day, if not every other day. So that's not an option, because the way my hair is set up, it would be dry as a bone and not feeling it. But yeah, as you can see, I've got dry scalp. I'm sure I got dry patches all throughout. You see up here, all right? And so, like I said, my journey with my scalp, or when I started paying attention to it, probably would go back to when I'm about 17 or 18 years old. And I started having flare-ups on my scalp. So while I'm walking through this, I'm doing a braid out, like I said. All the things that I talk about or use, I think I've already linked them in the description box, but I'll make sure to go back and link them if anything is missing. I'm not sponsored by any of these products or anything. I just like putting y'all onto stuff because I believe in it and I believe in sharing the wealth. So got my continuous water spray bottle. There's only water in here, and I'm just going to use that to dampen my hair as I go along. I'm not going to do the whole head at once, just because I don't need my whole head damp and then drying up and then having to re-dampen it. So we'll start with this section right here. I don't need it dripping wet, but I do want it wet enough so that way it holds the braids. And something that I want to do, usually when I do braid outs, I make the sections really small so that the braid outs come out super defined. I've only done a loose braid out once, where I did some like chunky cornrows. I think I did 6 of them. So today I'm gonna do something in between. They're not gonna be super small, but they're not gonna be super chunky either. It'll be somewhere in between. All right, so for moisture, I'm just using the Locs Locking Moisturizer. It's lightweight, it doesn't cause buildup, and it works for me. So, and it smells amazing. All right, so it's got a nice consistency, because as you rub it into your hands, it just melts and starts disappearing. So for those that are worried about buildup, you can see I've never had issues with buildup. Hey, Courtney's in the room. You caught live. That low porosity 5C hair will eat a bottle of water and oil. Isn't that the truth? Yes. That 5C through Z hair. All right. Well, I'm glad you came through, even if it's only for 15 minutes. Good to see you. And I sent your package yesterday, so be looking for it in the mail in the next couple of days, just so you know. There might be a surprise in there for you. In the form of a baked good. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to do somewhat chunky, because one, I don't want to be on here all day, and two, I don't feel like doing extra small ones. But yeah, so back to my scalp. So with my scalp, when I was 18 and in college, I started noticing that I was having scalp issues. I would get flare-ups to where my scalp would like have blisters and pus and would bleed. And it's something that I guess my dad passed down to me, because he also had scalp issues. And in that exact spot where I used to have those flare-ups and pus and whatnot is where I have my spot where my hair has thinned out. So for anyone that's thinking like, oh, maybe it's the locs that thins your hair out, it's not the locs, it's the scalp condition that I had. But yeah, so I struggled with that for years. Did we get a vlog? I know. Oh, I didn't film anything during the birthday. I mean, I filmed some like family videos, but I didn't like pull out the vlog camera. I was taking a hiatus, but I'm gonna bring the vlogs back soon, probably next week. But yes, there will be a vlog coming soon, and I would definitely tell her you said thank you. If she's not the other person in the room watching right now. Ooh, I'm all sloppy with this. My scalp. What was I talking about? My scalp. My scalp. Yes. So I've had scalp issues for years, and just trying to manage it over time as best as I can. I've tried medicated shampoos. I've tried all sorts of different like oils and things to try and get my scalp right. And nothing really worked over the years. None of the menthol things helped solve the problem. And it wasn't until recently that I found something that actually does work for my scalp and gets me right. And that's the Royal Oils collection. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by anybody to be talking about these products, but I just try to put people on if other people are struggling with the same thing. So they have a 2-in-1, which is what I'm using right now, and they also have just the shampoo and the conditioner separate. But this is the one with the blue bottle and the gold top is for the, not for the, but yeah, it's got this stuff. It's got coconut oil, apple cider vinegar, and it's supposed to help. It's for coily and curly textures, and it really helps my scalp. It's a thick texture, so if you're in the beginning of your lock journey, where you're needing to braid and band and not able to really get in there and wash your hair well, dang, I left 2 out. They're gonna have to go into a different one. I wouldn't recommend using it just because I don't want you having build up for the fact that you can't get in there and really wash your hair out the way you need to. But if your locks are more established, I would suggest if you have, scalp issues, to give it a try and just see if it works for you, because it really does work for me. And it's the one thing that I've found that after I wash my hair, I'm not itching hours later. That holds me through for a couple of days before my scalp starts getting dry and itchy again. And part of that's just because I'm not always moisturizing my scalp in the middle of the week. If I were more intentional about putting oil on my scalp all the time in the middle of the week, I would have less dryness. But sometimes life be life, and you forget to get to that. Same spot, nothing helps it, not even the secret stuff. Yes, try royal oils, but yeah, I haven't been able to get the hair in that area to grow back with, not that I did anything consistently, because I did buy one of those rollers that has like the needles, and I probably did it for like a week consistently, and then after that I was kind of over it. So maybe if I stuck to something over time, but I'd hate to spend 6 months just to get like a little peach fuzz back. I'm not hurting that badly in that area for hair to grow back for me to be breaking my scalp with them doggone needles. But I know for some people, they say it's worked, so maybe it would be worth it to try to regrow the hair, so at least I can snatch it up and put it in some neighboring locks. Have you gotten a review of the secret stuff in the winter? No, no, no. I appreciate the questions. No, I haven't gotten a review, but honestly, I think life be lifing for her too, and because it took her like a week to send me her address after I had sent her an email, just because I don't think she checks her email that often. And I don't blame her, because outside of work email, I don't check my personal emails that often either. So I will let people know when she does. Yeah, I'm gonna be walking around looking like Felicia today, and that's all right. I got these things just sticking out, but whatever. But yeah, you can give me a review when you get yours and let me know how it works for you and your family. Oh, but something else, back to the scalp, something else that I use in between, in the meantime, in between washes, is their scalp elixir. Probably should have picked it up before I started braiding this one. But yeah, it's also part of the product line. And all the stuff, I think the shampoo and conditioners are like $10 on Amazon. I get all my stuff on Amazon because I don't feel like going to the store and trying to find products for black people in a predominantly white area where they got one bottle, and the three black people that live up here got to fight over that one bottle. So I just order my stuff online. The snatch up noise when you gotta snatch that hair up into. That's my snatch up noise. Oh, but yeah. All right. Have a great work day. I'll see you later. Take care. All right, so yeah, the Royal Oil's Instant Soothe Scalp Elixir with cooling menthol and peppermint oil provides 24-hour, I don't know about 24-hour itch relief, but it really does help. I need to buy me a new one because mine is down to here, which lets you know that I use it. But yeah, it's great because you can, y'all saw where I had that dry spot. Of course, I put water on it, so you're not going to be able to see it now, but you just go in and you spray it. It smells amazing, just like the shampoo, and you can just rub it into your scalp. And it gives you that tingling sensation, which I know some people say that that's just a hello, Carolyn. I know people say that the tingling sensation doesn't really matter because that's just like a placebo effect to make you feel like it's working. But give me the placebo. I like to feel and smell like stuff is working, whether it is actually doing anything or not. Let me feel it so I can feel like it's doing something. Right. So again, anyone who's joining in, I'm just spraying water in my hair with my continuous spray bottle and using the Locs moisturizer because it's lightweight and it smells really good and it gets me right. And that's all I use when I'm doing my braid out. I put oil in my hair when I washed my hair a few days ago, so I'm not putting any more oil into my hair. Try to keep the product usage light and at a minimum. And again, like I said, I'm not doing super tiny ones today. And I'm not doing super chunky, something in between, something that won't take me 5 hours to take out or to put in. And I don't typically, I'll braid down to almost the end, and then I usually will 2-strand twist the ends just because it's easier to get out, because I don't know how many times I braided down to the very, very end and then struggled to get the mugs out later once they were dry. So I try not to make that mistake anymore. And then I secure it with the rubber band. One of these days when my hair is super long, I won't have to worry about that, but I only wrap it around once. I'm not wrapping it around a bunch of times, making it really tight. All right. And then, like I said, we're just going to walk around looking like Felicia, and we're going to be okay with that. Now with my sections, I'm not counting locks. I'm just like I did when I established my locks myself and put these in. I didn't count. I didn't, do perfect parts. I finger scoop-to-doop. Doing the same thing here. I'm scoop-to-dooping and not counting to see if I have the exact same amount of locks in each one. I preferred varying sizes so that way everything doesn't look so crisp and perfect. So that's what we're doing. Again, like I said, I get near the end and I will twist the ends up just so that they're easier to take out later. And then I fold it up on itself because I do want the curl or the wave or crink or whatever you call it to carry all the way down to the bottom so that I don't have straight ends. Oh, I got hair in my mouth. All right, so I got a couple more here, but we'll move on to the other side. So this is what we're looking like so far. Now we're gonna start on this side. But yeah, so like I said, I've struggled with dry scalp, and it's all, well, I won't say it's seasonal in the sense that like during certain seasons I don't have dry scalp, but during certain seasons, like when it's cold outside, winter time, my scalp is extra dry, drier than normal. So I do have to give it a little extra love. And I actually do steam treatments sometimes. That's not for my scalp though, that's for my locks, to help my locks not to feel so dry. So if you've never tried steaming your locks before, you really should give that a try. I'll do that sometime soon on here, whether it's a live or a short or something, just to show. I've shown it before, but just to show it again. Steaming my locks, because one, it's soothing, and two, it's just a really good treatment for the locks. I mean, some people might say, well, can't you get the same treatment while you're sitting in the showering if you don't put a shower cap on or whatever? You can, but I feel like it's not as deep. It doesn't penetrate as deep, because with the steamer that I have, I'm able to like put it and localize where the steam is going, how long I want the steam to be there. So I feel like there's just better penetration, and it gets deeper, like I said, than if you're just sitting in the shower and the steam is all around you. But if you do not have a steamer, then obviously use the shower, because use it to your benefit. You're in there anyways washing, so you might as well, again, not if you're in the beginning of your lock journey and you still have a chance of your locks unraveling. I don't want to encourage anybody to do anything that's going to mess up their starter locks. But if you're further into your lock journey, then go ahead and steam those locks. And I promise you, if you've never done it before, afterwards you'll be like, oh my gosh, why haven't I done this before? Like, I've been missing out. Your locks, they just feel softer. They look shinier. They just have a different feel to them. It's hard to describe, but you can literally feel the difference in your locks after you've steamed them. And then of course you want to lock in that moisture with some type of oil or moisturizer or whatnot. If you do that, because again, I know for some people they're very strict about not putting oil or anything like that into their hair, their locks, their Sisterlocks, their Microlocs. So at the end of the day, you need to do what works for you. And if you don't put oil in your locks, don't put oil in your locks. You can still steam them if they're far enough along the journey, you know. So do what you know will work for you and that won't mess your locks up. Me personally, I need all the extra TLC that my locks and scalp can get. So steaming, treatments, I need the oil, I need the leave-in conditioner, and I'm not doing oil and leave-in conditioner on a daily basis. I'm not putting it in a lot. I'm not heavy-handed with it. So like I said, I'm not out here slabbing a ton of products in my hair all the time. And then when I do go in for wash days, I try to make sure to be very thorough in washing the product out, so that I'm not leaving anything in there to cause buildup or anything like that. Right. Braid down, like I said, probably until I'm about a good 2 inches from the end, and then that last 2 inches I will twist, and then I curl it up on itself before I put the rubber band in to secure it. All right, if you can see, I'm not making it really tight. I don't like tightness, I don't like tension, so all of these, even though you might not seem like it, but they're loose, I can move them around. It's not hurting my head. I'm not causing a bunch of tension. You don't want a bunch of tension. Right, and again, like I said, I'm not paying attention to how many locks I'm grabbing. I want a little bit of a looser. It's still going to be defined, and I'll have to post pictures later because I'm not going to blow dry my hair. I'm going to let it air dry. So y'all have to see it later once it's done. But I'm not doing them as small as I normally do them. One, for time, and two, because when I do them extra small, that braid out lasts for a long time, which is a good thing. But then I have to wash my hair, like I said, about once a week, just because that's the way my scalp is set up. And I always feel bad when that braid out is still looking real good, and I'm like, dang, but it's time to wash my hair. But then I'm like, I don't want to wash my hair because then it's going to wash out the braid out and the time that I spent doing it. But it's like, okay, D, you need to wash your hair. So maybe if I do them a little bit bigger, it'll fall a little bit sooner, and in a week from now, when I'm ready to wash my hair, I won't feel like I'm doing the most. You're probably wondering where I'm looking. I have a mirror in front of me, which is why I'm looking off. Let me see what you say. I steamed my hair when I had loose natural hair. I recently steamed my Sisterlocks, and they felt super soft and hydrated. Yeah, so see, steaming really, I mean, whether you're a loose natural, Sisterlock natural, Microloc natural, it really does wonders. But I repeat to anybody listening, don't do it in your first beginning stages of your locks, you know, because it does soften your hair and make it feel very soft and moisturized. So if you are in the beginning stages where your locks are still coming unraveled, or you're worried about slippage and things like that, please don't steam your locks yet. Don't be like, D told me to steam my locks, and look, now I'm back to being the loose natural. Everything's all frizzy and whatnot. No, no, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, when you have locks that you're not worried about them slipping out. I have Braidlocs, and I got 4C hair, very kinky texture, and so I've never had any slippage. I've never had any issues with my hair coming unraveled or anything like that. And so I've been able to use conditioner on my hair from the very beginning. I've been able to steam my hair from the very beginning and not have to worry about anything like that. But if you have a looser texture, or if you started with 2-strand twist, for example, or if your Sisterlocks or Microlocs have been installed using the interlock method, and you are in a stage where your locks can still unravel or you can get slippage. Because the last thing you want to do, especially if you're not DIYing, you're going to someone else to do your hair, is cause them more work and cause yourself more money that you have to pay for them to repair things that you messed up. So if you're going to someone, you do need to somewhat listen to what they're saying. I mean, I promote on my channel to listen to your hair and whatnot, and I mean that in the sense of, if someone is retightening your hair and they're pulling, you know, speak up for yourself, advocate for yourself, so that you don't end up leaving the shop with bald spots because they're thinning out your locks or whatnot, because they don't know how tight they're pulling your hair sometimes, and it's not intentional. But if you don't say anything, they might think everything's fine. You know, so people with higher pain tolerance might not say anything too, because they're just like, well, pulling kind of tight, but you know, it doesn't really hurt. Even if it doesn't hurt, and you're like, hey, these locks are extra tiny, probably shouldn't be pulling on them. That if you have a bad feeling about it, speak up. You know, if your loctician is offended or upset with you for speaking up, then that might not be the loctician you need to be going to. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you're paying them for a service, but you also want to be able to continue paying them. Ooh. Come on now, get it together. I want to be able to continue paying them and not have to leave because you no longer have hair for them to retighten in the future. So make sure you advocate for yourself. Speak up. If you feel like it's being pulled too tight, if you feel like it's being done too often. I mean, everything should be a negotiation. Like, if you're at your locticians and they're telling you to come every 4 weeks, and you feel like you're at a point where maybe 4 weeks is too often, you know, your hair's not grown out that much, and have that conversation. Don't be afraid and be like, oh, well, the loctician told me, so I'm just gonna be quiet, not say anything. I think that's one of the biggest taboos that we have in our community. When we go to someone to do our hair, sometimes we don't speak up, and then people end up doing damage to us because we don't speak up and advocate for ourselves. Band and braided when I steam them. Oh, okay. My lock anniversary is coming up. All right, 3/14 will be a year. Happy almost lock-iversary. Okay, so there you go, y'all. If you want to steam your locks and maybe you're still in a phase where you're worried about slippage or whatnot, you can. Again, she's almost a year in. She's 11 months and several days to be in a year in. So I don't know, how early did you start steaming your locks? Were you doing it in the beginning and braiding and banding and steaming them, or did you wait until you were at a certain month mark before you started steaming your locks? Because I know it's going to be very individual for each person. You gotta, like I said, listen to your loctician and know what works for you. But you can steam your locks while they're braided and banded. And like Carolyn said, you can still come out feeling your locks being soft and feeling like they're moisturized, even when they're braided and banded. I think my camera's a little bit lower than it was when we started. I'm sorry, y'all. I got this little rinky-dink tripod in the sink, literally. I wish I could show y'all my setup, but my phone is on my tripod, and it's a little wobbly tripod that's in the sink, and so the legs are like, there's 3 little legs that are trying to claw on for dear life on the walls of the sink, and trying to balance it. It works most of the time, but the water bottle fell in the sink and knocked all over for a second. Don't knock it if it works. Hey, thanks for joining. We were just talking about you. Courtney was asking the winner of the contest, the hair oil giveaway, asking if you had a review, if you've had a chance to use it. Although I don't know if I want to ask on live how it was, because if it's trash, I'm just playing. If it were trash, I wouldn't offer it to people, so I don't think it's trash. But if you've had a chance to use it and you do have input, whether good or bad, please feel free to share. I'm about being real, so I'm not gonna edit it out or anything like that. We're almost done, y'all. I think we got like 1 left, and because I can't see what I'm doing, I'm probably missing a couple in some weird spaces, but we'll work it out. Okay, I appreciate you. All right, so what do we have left? We got this little chunk here. Oh wow, and this one from way over here. And then we got a couple up here that didn't make it in. Okay, so yeah. Oop, oop, oop. Best. Because I'm not, like I said, too concerned about it being pretty, and these are in the back anyway, so I don't care that they're coming from different hemispheres of the world. We're just gonna bring them all together and act like they were meant to be in one braid together. I can feel this one just coming out ugly. But you know what? It's all right, because at the end of the day, it's going to have a little crinkle to it, and that's all that we're worried about. So whether it's a braid, or it's a twist, or it's just a twisted lump, we're going to make it do what it do, and we're going to make it work. We'll twist that one up a little bit higher on itself. Your locks are beautiful and love your suggestions. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate all of you for taking the time to watch and comment, whether it's live videos, whether it's the pre-recorded videos that go up and are published. Okay. And these feel dry as a bone, so they didn't get any kind of water or loving. All right, so last time for anyone who's just joining, got my continuous spray bottle. The description, in the description box are all the links for the stuff. I'm not sponsored by any of them, just like to stuff that I like using. And I already used my DIY oil a couple of days ago when I washed my hair, so I'm just going in with a little bit of the Locs moisturizer. And the good stuff about this, the good thing about this stuff is that it melts in your hands as you wipe it in, so it's very lightweight, and I have not had any buildup to date. Makes my locks smell really good, makes them feel moisturized, and I use it usually with my DIY oil to add just a little extra softness and smell. Because in my DIY oil I do have some essential oils like tea tree and things like that, so this helps offset that, because I don't like walking around smelling like tea tree and whatnot. Right. And again, for anyone who may have come later, I did talk about the things that I use for my scalp, and I'll just show those again because I have them right here. I use Royal Oils line. The blue bottle with the golden top is for people, not the people. All right, it's head and shoulders, which is why I said it's because it's made for people with curly and coily crowns. So this is the 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner, just because I try to make my wash days as quick as possible and as pain-free, yeah, as possible. So this is the 2-in-1. Before I was using the shampoo and conditioner separately. They both seem to work just fine for me. This just makes it quicker because, like I said, I'm not having to do 2 separate steps. I'm doing it all in one. And then in the meantime, I use the scalp elixir that helps in between when I start getting little dry patches and it's itching and I'm not ready to wash my hair yet. Maybe I've got a braid out in and I've still got 3 days before my wash day, but I got itchy scalp and I'm flaking. So I'll just go in, spray it, and I get this nice tingly menthol feeling. Alright, so I get all my stuff on Amazon. You can find it in Target and Walmart, but it's not always there. So for me, it's just easier to do it on Amazon. I got the little side part today. So I will, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and wait for all this to dry. So what I'll do is I will take pictures when I'm done and it's dry and I take it out, and I'll put up a community post so that you can check that out and just see what the results look like, so you know. I use my hand to differentiate between folks. The problem is mine are almost the same color. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all keep me in the comments just cracking up. But yeah, I'm not gonna go out in public like this because it's giving initiative, you know. And I feel like when my hair is longer, like when my locks are down to here and I do something like this, it'll be okay because I'll be able to put them back into a ponytail or something, so it won't be giving Felicia. It'll just give style within a style. But until that day, we're gonna have to wrap this up. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't have to pick up my child from daycare until for another hour and a half. So by then, hopefully it'll be dry. But since I'm air drying and I'm not going to be outside, it might not be dry. So I'll probably end up putting a little headscarf on and rolling it up and keeping it moving. But yeah, all right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I appreciate everyone who came through today. Thank you for stopping through to watch. Thank you for commenting. If you're watching the replay, make sure to comment down below and let me know if there are certain products that you use for your scalp that have helped you. I'd like to share those and try them myself, because I'm about putting people on this stuff. So let me know if you do have stuff that you use for your scalp that helps when you have severe dry scalp, seborrheic dermatitis like I do, whatnot, just so that we can share. I think the community is stronger when we're sharing, when we're lifting each other up. There's enough negativity out in the world and people putting each other down. So I'm not about that on my channel. Even if I'm doing lock reviews, I'm not going to be straight up just hating on people's locks. And I don't know. I love us. I love our hair. And it's rare that I have some. I guess I did kind of come for Stevie, but I got nothing but love for Stevie. And the locks that he has are strong. So whatever. Anyways, love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, stay tuned for more stuff coming. And like I told Courtney earlier, there will be more vlogs coming out. I was taking a break from vlogs for a while, but I will start posting vlogs again soon, since I know that there are some people, not everybody, because I know some people are just here for the hair content, and that's okay. That's the great thing about these platforms, is that you can come for what you want to be here for, and you can bounce for the stuff that you don't want to be here for. So I'm going to post it all because I want to. Anyways, love y'all. Treat people kindly, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And then that awkward moment where you can't find the end button because your phone is facing backwards. Wow, that's a really ugly movie. Sorry, y'all. Bye.